I will call our meeting to order. Thank you all for joining us tonight. This is the December 9th, 2025 regular meeting of the Salina Public Schools Board of Education. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On to item 3, approval of the agenda. I don't believe there are any additions or corrections this evening. Is there a motion to approve? Dan, Scott seconds. Any further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 6-0. And on to recognitions and presentations and Superintendent Excellence Awards with Olivia Opet.
Good evening. Tonight we'll be recognizing the Superintendent's Excellence Awards. Tonight, Darren Steinman is here from Central to take pictures of our students. Thank you. Our first awards go to the Central High School cross-country athletes. Brad Dix and Trey Collins are the coaches. Will the coaches please join Superintendent Hogan in the front? And will the students please line up next to them? The following students competed at the 5A state cross-country meet. The boys team finished 9th and the girls team finished 8th. This is the first time both teams qualified in the same year since 1985. Students, as I call your name, please step towards Superintendent Hogan so you can receive your award. After you've received your award, please walk to the end of the line and remain standing until all of the students have been recognized. Luke Affolter. Jerome Connor. Aiden Denyo Young. Liam Denyo Young. Zane Hoff. Jeremiah McWhorter. Tayton Morris. Jaime Navarro. Renner Van Zant. Marshall Zuccarelli. Phoebe Bohr. Yessie Ingram. Raylan Jensen. Megan Lewis. Addison Lund. Delilah McWhorter. Michaela Roberts. Kaylee Schultz. Emily Schertz. And Callie Van Court. Students, would you please let the Board of Education congratulate you now?
We're going to mail them. Yep.
Do you want me to tell them? Our next group of awards goes to the South High School cross-country athletes. Tim Bishop is the coach. Will you please join Superintendent Hogan at the front? And students, will you please line up next to them? The following students competed at the Class 5A state cross-country meet. Students, as I call your name, please step towards Superintendent Hogan so you can receive your award. After you've received your award, please remain at the line until all students have been recognized. Elian Marino. Alina Arceo. Congratulations. Would you now please let the board congratulate you? Our next group of awards goes to the Central High School students who participated in the Fort Hays State University Math Relays. Matt Dykes and Stephanie Johannes are the sponsors. Will the sponsors please join Superintendent Hogan at the front, and will the students please line up next to them? The following students placed 8th in the 4A, 5A, and 6A division. Lillian Dreiling. Carlin Elting. Owen Leonard. Jasper Mailer. Tabitha Massey. Timothy Rose. Jake Schmitz. Alexis Thompson. Marshall Zuccarelli. Congratulations. Would you guys let the board congratulate you now, please? Our next group of awards go to the South High students who participated in the Fort Hays State University Math Relays. Candace Mahoney is the sponsor. Will you please join Superintendent Hogan at the front, and will the students please line up next to them? The following students placed 10th in the 4A, 5A, and 6A division. Marissa Anderson. Isaiah Boswell. Ella Chamberlain. Benjamin Dwyer. Corbin Ebert. Summer Fossey Wells. Kristen Kenyon. Julie Lai. Anna Matto. Lila Owens. Arian Patel. Phillips Fashala. Eliana Reed. Saikum Saikau. Connor Stewart. Amy So. Connor Weber. Jack Weber. Students, please allow the Board of Education to congratulate you. Our next group of awards goes to the Central High School football program. Mark Sambo is the coach. Will you please join Superintendent Hogan in the front? The Mustangs are the 2025 Class 5A state football champions. Tonight we recognize their senior class athletes who finished their high school football careers as a part of the championship team. Will these students please line up next to Coach Sampo and Superintendent Hogan?
Gear.
Connor Carter, Gannon Cole, Jesus Delgado, Elijah Duxler, Grayton Gross, Isaac Howe, Kevin Martinez, Syjon Mills, Abram Owens, Alva Payne, Noah Peck, Cooper Reeves, Bodie Rodriguez, Corey Siraki, Jeremiah Smith, Keaton Smith, Caden Snyder, and David Zack. Congratulations. Would you now please let the Board of Education congratulate you? Oh no.
You're not leaving that for us?
Yeah, call. Our next group of awards goes to the South High School Girls Golf Athletes. Jason Hooper is the coach. Will you please join Superintendent Hogan in the front? And will the students please line up next to them? The following students qualified to compete at the Girls State Golf Competition: Elle Barth, Jessie Durr, and Addie Johnson. Congratulations. Our next awards go to the Central High School Girls Tennis Players. Grace Holgerson is the coach. Will you please join it? Thanks, Mackenzie. Will the students please line up next to them? Okay. Brooke Banninger and Macy O'Hara. Congratulations. Our final awards tonight go to the South High School Girls Tennis Players. Mackenzie Morris is the coach. Will you please join Superintendent Hogan at the front? And will the tennis players please line up next to them? The following South High students competed at the state tennis competition: Kate Hull, Julie Lai,
We always enjoy getting to recognize our student achievements, and thank you to those staff members that help make it happen. Moving on our agenda, item 5, approval of consent agenda items. Those items this evening are minutes of the November 11th, 2025 regular meeting, the personnel report, the financial reports, including the November bills list, the treasurer's report for October, and the investment report for October. October journal entries, approval of the following encumbrance listings. First, to Eagle Technologies in the amount of $26,445 for network security testing. To CDWG for the purchase of replacement email servers for the district in the amount of $24,204. And to Sunland Asphalt in the amount of $876,734.34 for the milling, repaving, and striping of the parking lot at Central High School. Approval of the request to apply for a Kansas Stronger Connections competitive grant through the Kansas Department of Education in the amount of $304,314. Is there a motion to approve those items?
Mr. President, I move that we approve all the consent agenda items as listed.
Thank you. In a second. Paul seconds. Any further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 6-0. Now on to public forum. And we do have one request to speak this evening from David Olson.
Yeah, good evening.
You're good. I'm going to read just a quick little intro while you're coming up. Public forum is a non-action item on our agenda this evening. The board appreciates patrons taking time to share with us about their thoughts and concerns. Public forum is an opportunity to address the board about policy-related issues. This is not an appropriate time or place for patrons to make comments of a personal nature about any district employee or student. Persons making comments which violate the privacy rights of district employees and students will be asked to stop speaking or cease their remarks. If a patron or parent has a concern with one or more employees, the board will refer that person to the appropriate supervisor or to the superintendent for further review. Please understand that it's not the board's practice to respond to public forum comments or questions this evening, but we appreciate you being here to talk.
All right, thank you very much. Just a clarification on how much time I have to speak.
3 minutes.
Wow. Okay, well, I'm here to speak about the land out on Magnolia Road. Brief history of this, I was approached by the superintendent saying that you wanted to sell that. I thought that the maybe way that we could do that is just to work out an agreement where we would just pay back what we got paid for the property. There was a couple of things in the language that allowed that to happen, but I made an offer to basically do that. It was subsequently rejected, and so we've now moved forward. Well, historically speaking, I want to give you a little bit of background since I only have 3 minutes. So in 2020, we were about ready to develop this property when the school district came and asked if they could take it. We were not really excited about that at that time because it would encumber us greatly because we would be left with a parcel that would be somewhat blocked from access. Upon threat of eminent domain, we went ahead and allowed the school district to buy that in 2025. My family built the house that I live in on that property at the turn of the century. At that point, we'd owned that property for over 100 years. My dream and our family's dream was to continue our legacy of house building in Salina by then developing that property into something that Salina would be proud of. The school district wanted it for another purpose. It was okay. We agreed to that. I still feel that the sensible solution here is that the unjust enrichment that would come from the school owning that property for 25 years when we had owned it for 100 years seems a little bit one-sided. The school district did a prudent thing. They acquired property, had it available to build a school. They did the right thing by not building a school there and have a building that they wouldn't be able to use. I don't know why it wouldn't have been a prudent decision just to put this back in the same situation we were before 2020 and thus letting us buy the property back and you move forward without the encumbrance of owning it. So you have a $160 million budget and you want to become real estate speculators by seeing if this property will be worth more than what you paid our family for it 25 years ago. I was reading, in summary, the Board of Education belief statements. We believe that a quality public education is the foundation of a democratic society and should be supported by every citizen. Is a democratic society based upon one where government and government entities come in and take property, don't use it, and then enrich themselves for doing it? I ask you that one question. Is that a democratic society? And is that where we live today? That's all I have to say. Thank you so much.
No, sir. Yeah, thank you for coming this evening. Appreciate you taking your time to visit with the board. We always encourage and value the input from the community and USD 305 patrons. We appreciate you sharing your thoughts with us this evening. Moving on to our action agenda and item 7A and an LED lighting project update and purchase.
I brought my major award with me, so no, just kidding. It's your award, so. Good evening. I appreciate the time to just update you on our LED lighting transition. So you might recall last year, we initiated this process where we would retrofit or change all of our fixtures in the USD 305 school district. The rationale behind that was over time, the cost savings would be tremendous, and the state offered rebate incentives through Evergy for doing that. I'm a little bit cynical, and I understand that the reason that Evergy typically does that is because they're going to raise rates, but you still save the kilowatts on the backside. So I think we shared with you this evening the case study that Evergy produced, highlighting the school district as the premier lighting conservation district or entity in the state for this year. So we received that award. It was a nice award, but they highlighted the kilowatts saved, which were approximately 600, close to 600,000 kilowatts is what they estimate, or 50 households annually. So a pretty substantial savings up to this point. And you know, they talk about the amount. I always like to use kilowatts because the amount's going to change based on the rates, but you can't change the kilowatt consumption. So that's an important part of the process. So with that, last summer, the incentives were doubled for a 3-month window, and we were able to do South High and South Middle at that time. We expedited our process to meet those additional savings. Well, now they're offering a different, they gave the carrot first, and now they're giving us the stick, I guess. They're saying that if we don't dedicate our projects by January, or stipulate that we're going to do these projects, they'll cut back the incentives by 10%. And so they're starting to roll those back. And so what I've proposed this evening, what was proposed is that we go forward with Central High and Lakewood this summer, and that we commit to doing that. And the amount that you see in your packet is the proposal. And I just wanted to compliment the Board of Education because it is foresight to meet these obligations. And essentially with LED lighting, it's a commercial product. The fixtures are good 15 to 20 years in theory. They guarantee them for 5. We get 3% overage in case we have breakage or manufacturing that's not correct. And so the return on investment, though, is about 7 years, depending on the building, but the average is 7-year return on investment. But by the time you get to 15 to 20 years, the lights last a lot longer. They're a lot less maintenance, so that's another savings. But by the time you get there, technology will have changed, and we'll probably be on to the next product by then. So with that in mind, I just wanted to update you on where we were at and why we're kind of expediting that process, because they're monkeying with the incentives just a little bit, and we want to make sure we maximize those incentives. So that's my proposal. Any questions?
Questions? Yes.
So in doing this, will this encapsulate everything that we need to get done in time, or
We'll
does that
still
do?
have elementary schools to do. And some of those, so what we do is we partner with a company called ROI. So essentially there's 4 entities in this process. There's Evergy, there's the school district, there's ROI, which operates as a general contractor. Because if we go partner with an electrician by ourselves, those electricians that we use don't have the resources to go and perform this service that quickly. So even over a summertime, they don't have enough electricians to do that. So the general contractor or lighting contractor that we partner with is able to do that on large volume. And so then there's an auditing, a third-party entity that Evergy hires, which is the 4th component. And they go in and set monitors in the buildings that we've performed this service in, just to evaluate what the true savings are. And so each of these large projects, they go and do that. They put monitors in there and evaluate that. So hopefully I don't know. Does that answer your question, Scott?
All of our schools were built into the long-range.
Right.
All of our schools were built into the long-range facilities plan, and so they're all spread out over the course of a number of years. We're taking these 2 pieces and bringing them forward in order to capture savings, but the rest of the schools that haven't been completed yet, they're still on our long-range plan, and they'll still be done in a different time period.
Right.
So Stewart Elementary, Sunset Elementary, South Middle, South High. It'll include Central Lakewood, this building, the Operations Center, and then one of our warehouses are the buildings that we've completed to this point. So some of the elementaries are small enough that we can partner without the lighting contractor, that we might be able to just partner with the electrician by ourselves and do that. But no, we're a little over halfway. Obviously, you get rid of those 4 secondary schools, you're knocking out a big chunk of it. Those are your largest projects. So.
Okay, that's where I was trying to get. Where's that diminishing point of return as far as does it behoove us to take 2 more schools and move them into this? Or is that something where you feel that you can negotiate that with someone else and the 10% won't
Essentially, we
impact?
can do that, correct. So what I've been told by our Evergy representative is they're going to potentially kick that can down the road just a little bit because they know our investment that we can't get it all done at once. And it's not just a financial aspect that we can't get it done at once, because we would have the set aside dollars to do that. It's just the resources to accomplish that task are tremendous. So it took us 2 months to do South High. And that's with a lot of people in there. So, and it's messy and all those other things. So it is. We try to do the bigger schools so that we can recover the incentives in case they go down, or just eliminate them altogether, so we can get done and with the most cost efficient.
Would we qualify for the incentives if we just get under contract?
We think so, but again, what our average Marksfield tells me is that they're going to extend that a little bit. So I think we will be able to do that we just have to commit, essentially, sign a piece of paper that says we're going to commit to do this, which the board has done through the capital improvement projects, so our plan. So.
Okay, so in order to go forward, you got everything that you need then?
Yes.
All right.
You already covered this, but just as a point of clarification for anyone who might be listening, the amount that's presented here, it's not going to create a budget impact, anything like that, through our capital, the funds we have for capital funding at this point. Mr. President, I would move that we approve the purchase and installation of LED lighting at Central High School and Lakewood Middle School through the ROI Energy in the amount of $500,138 as presented.
Second.
And that was $508,138.
I'm sorry, yeah. $508,138.
Thank you. And Scott seconds. Any further discussion? And all those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Next on our agenda, school board reports and upcoming dates of importance. No dates listed. Start with being on our school board report.
I did attend some high school football games that were very exciting, and also was asked to do a mock interview session with aspiring superintendents in the state of Kansas, which was really interesting. It was great since we'd just been through it. They all said a lot of great things about you, and it was just interesting to see who's out there and that we still have people wanting to do that job, which I'm excited about.
I attended the Smoky Hill Education Service Center Executive Cabinet meeting and the KASB convention in Wichita. Wasn't that since the last one? Yes, and so Dana was there too. I'll claim that for her. I also attended the musical at Central, Catch Me If You Can. It was very well done, as expected. That's all I have written down here. Thank you.
Evening. I have just the one thing to report about the KASB convention this year in Wichita, and so I'll leave that at that.
I attended the NEA meeting, KASB as well. Also, I just want to make a comment that sometimes you get confirmation on things that you've done or things that you're thinking of doing, and I just want to give confirmation that we did hire the right superintendent. He had a hypothesis. I'm not going to go into great detail, but I did a DOE on his hypothesis and an OFAT, design of experiments, and then I did an OFAT, which is one factor at a time, and it substantiated that his hypothesis, I believe, is correct. So I believe in my heart that we've got the right person to take us where we need to go, because I think he's identified one key factor in one of our big issues for this district. And so I just want to give affirmation to that and to say thank you. We've got the right person.
No report. I too attended the Kansas Association of School Boards annual conference in Wichita. Enjoyed some time with you all and Superintendent Hogan, and getting to know our new board members there as well, and the learning we were able to take part in. Central Kansas Cooperative and Education Board of Control meeting. The biggest item of discussion was the impact that our success having in filling sub-vacancies is having on that budget. And so one problem solved with another sort of thing, but we have accounted for all of that in the budgeting that we did for this school year. And then also attended both the District South Central game and made it with my brother to Emporia for the Salina High Central state football game, which was a great time seeing many people, not only from Salina, but Mustangs from across the state and across the country who were home that weekend, getting to celebrate in that victory. So that's all I have. On to Superintendent's report.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. President. So, team, there's a lot of pressure Mr. Gardner just put on us, right, to make this happen. So, busy month as always. I attended the Oakdale's Snack and Solve event, which was great. Getting our parents into the building, working with their kids, getting to see what they do kind of on a daily basis was super exciting. I've attended the Chamber Business Hall of Fame luncheon, the Superintendent of the Year banquet. Dr. Eggleston is the Superintendent of the Year, and he's the Superintendent in Junction City, Erie County. Very well deserved. The South Central District game was awesome. Just want to give a shout out to everybody who participated in that, and it ran very, very smoothly for the first time in 20-something years maybe happening. So that was exciting. The gate, I think, is around 5,000 people for that event, so that was unusual, certainly. I had a chance to attend our PBD Thanksgiving lunch with some really great kids there. I got to sit down and I didn't share a meal. I had another meeting to go to, but I got to spend some time there with them while they enjoyed a true Thanksgiving feast, and then found out in some cases that might be the only Thanksgiving feast that they were able to enjoy. We had our final site council presentation, Miss Lisa and I. We got all of those done, and so that was again another opportunity to get out into our public and meet lots of great people. NEA Salina Master Teacher Ceremony, so just want to give some congratulations to the Master Teacher that was awarded, Miss Kim Warren from South High. There was also finalists Alicia Hampton from Sunset, Ryan Holmquist from Central High, and Jessica Steele from Cottonwood. Board of Control meeting as well. Pathway Financial hosted a lunch for this building, which was great. We appreciate their partnership. Also attended the Central High football state championship football game. Very exciting, very fun game to attend. Attended a community issues roundtable that the chamber hosted. This was really great event. All kind of leadership from around the community got together, expressed some concerns, what we see as growth opportunities for our community, but then taking those and summarizing them as legislative talking points for both the state and federal level. And so we'll be working as advocates in that area. Athletic administration meetings, we've had those athletic and admin meetings over the last several weeks. Also the NEA Salina leadership meeting that we were able to hold. And then last Friday, Miss Lisa and I attended the Schools for Fair Funding meeting that we have been a longstanding member of. And so some interesting talking points that came out of that meeting in the upcoming two sessions, both this session and the 2027 session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Before we move on to our executive session for personnel, we do have, it is Bonnie Schamberger, who was not able to attend tonight because of a prior conflict, but also Jim Fletcher's last board meeting. So Jim and I have had the pleasure of running together in election twice, and he has served his time. I have a remedial 4 more years, I guess, of this, but appreciate what you've done for our community and students and staff, sir, over the last 8 years that you've served with this group, and thank you. Yes. All right, we do have an executive session for personnel. 10 minutes. I'm going to be optimistic. It's ours. It's not. It's yeah. I think 10 minutes. Whoever's doing that.
Mr. President, I move that we move into Board of Education, go into executive session at 6:10 for 10 minutes for the purpose of discussing the evaluation of non-elected personnel. Because if this matter were discussed in open session, it might invade the privacy of those discussed, and that the Board of Education reconvene into open session at 6:20 in the SEC room.
There's a second and seconds. Any further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 6-0. We are recessed into executive session. We'll be back in session in this room at 6:20. back in open session and do have action to take. Is there a motion?
Mr. President, I move that the board extend the superintendent's contract with Heath Hogan for one additional year through June 30th, 2029.
Thank you. In a second.
Second.
Scott seconds. Any further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 6-0. We have come to the end of our agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
Second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Happy holidays, everyone. We'll see you in January.